Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, here I'm going to do a presentation about our last final project for English for Information System, where here I'm gonna do a, where here I'm gonna presenting my last project. My essay is about defects, identity, and the future of information integrity. So, my name is Aditya Arga Kusuma with less student ID 00NH. Okay, let's get this started. The first slide, the first slide is the AI mirror reflection or distortion. This metaphor compares artificial installations to a mirror, suggesting that AI doesn't just reflect human behavior, but it actually actively shapes it. For example, like reflection, AI gives us personalized content like Spotify recommendation or maybe YouTube suggests videos that align with our views. Over time, this personalization nudges us into feedback loops. We consume what fits to us, and our behaviors and opinions are gradually formed around it. So, artificial intelligence is an everyday mirror that we actually use in our everyday life, but this mirror can distort. The distortion refers to how AI system, like those behind who create defects, who can present false image or realities. The worry is no longer just about bias in search algorithms. It's about AI creating completely fabricated content that looks and sounds authentic. The most alarming distortion is the defect technology, as I said before. Defect represent the extreme version of this distortion, a kind of digital hallucination that's indistinguishable from reality. The next slide is what are defects? Deepfakes are synthetic media, usually videos, image, or audio recordings that have been digitally manipulated using artificial intelligence, particularly deep learning techniques to make it appear as if someone is doing or saying anything that never they actually did. This media can imitate facial expression, voice tones, and even mannerism of real people. The core truth is defects directly challenge the age-old principle of seeing is believing. The impact, they blur the line between fact and fiction, threatening the very foundation of trust and what we see and hear. Next slide is defects make it possible to fabricate convincing false realities. This lead to severe consequences like dismantling public trust in media and institution, enabling personal identity theft and harassment on a new scale, and creating powerful tools for political manipulation. This is the threat. One is violation of individuality. Defects enable the non-consensual manipulation of a person's likeness, creating hyperrealistic and fabricated content. This constitutes a new form of digital assault. It robs individuals of control over their own identity, narrative, and dignity. In this case study, a personal violation in New Zealand is set appeared to Laura McClure, a New Zealand member of Parliament. She presented a realistic generated nude image of herself during a parliamentary session to expose the technology is a threat. Her, she described the experience as absolutely terrifying and so degrading for a human. The lesson we can take is this case underscored the profound psychological harm and personal violation caused by defects. It's a new form of digital assault. Europe individuals control over their own identity, narrative, and dignity. The next slide is undermining public trust and democracy. When defects infiltrate public discourse, they displace the pillar of functioning society like journalism, justice system, and political institutions. Like journalism, how can we trust the news report? In justice system, how can video evidence can we verify it? And in the political institution, how can we believe what our leaders say? That's the main threat of defects. And the next slide is actually a case study political manipulation in Indonesia, like example one in that happens in 2023 election is appeared that a fake video of President Joko Widodo speaking fluent Mandarin was circulated, causing confusion and suspicion. And example two is that's actually happened in our recent is Farboy Specs financial aid video. This video led not just to confession but direct exploitation. Scammers use it to deceive people into giving up personal info or money. The lesson we can take is defects are already being weaponized to manipulate public perception, incite unrest, and erode institutional trust. The way for a three-pronged solution. Addressing the defect crisis requires a comprehensive strategy that attacks the problem from multiple angles. We must pursue a holistic solution built on three essential pillars. First is legal reforms, technological innovation, and widespread public education. Legal system. Law must be updated to clearly criminalize malicious creation and distribution of defect. Existing laws like Indonesian UITs are start, but more targeted legislation is needed. Technological solution is like an arm race exists between defect creators and the detector. Companies like Microsoft and Firefox are developing detection tools which must constantly update and integrate into social media and news platforms. The strongest demand is education. All long-term resilience depends on public education and digital literacy and widespread education. Initiative must teach users to critically evaluate all media they consume, instinctively question the authenticity of content, and know how to verify source before they sharing. Uninformed and skeptical public is the ultimate defense against manipulation, such as deepfake. And this is ethical implication of AI in everyday life. First is personal responsibility. We face a new ethical choice. Are we complicit in harm if we share a meme or video without even verifying it? And then erosion of personal trust. The technology forces us to question everything, even a video call from a loved and this can breed a paranoia and social isolation. The next one is consent. It is ethical to use a person likeness for entertainment without consent. What about after they have passed away? And then the last one is the normalization the normalization of deception. As we become accused to meta-centric media or collective grasp and reality weakens, making it easier for malicious lies to take root. The conclusion and action is the technology presents a real growing threat that challenges not only personal dignity but also public trust and our collective trust on threat itself. This isn't a distant or abstract concern, it's an urgent crisis that already reshaping how we perceive reality. To confront this, we need a holistic and decisive response. Legal frameworks must evolve to protect individuals and societies at the same time. We must encourage technological advancement that can detect and counter defects effectively. Perhaps most importantly, digital education must become widespread so that people are equipped to navigate and increasingly manipulate media landscape. Ultimately, the goal is clear. Artificial intelligence must serve the truth, not distort it. The mirror AI holds up, so reflect or share humanity, not exploit it. Okay, maybe that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.